Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Chalum Keith, and today we have a pretty fun video, I think, in store for today. I wanted to do something a little more lighthearted that wasn't a podcast episode or a BuzzFeed quiz video or a 16 personalities video, something a little bit different. So today I will be answering questions that guys are too afraid to ask girls, taken from the internet. Hopefully you guys know that I am a girl because I start off everything with, hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Chalum Keith. Um, and if you are curious about these questions, then I guess we'll get answers. Once again, this is definitely going to depend on the guy slash girl. It's a case by case basis. So some of the answers that I give to these questions aren't going to be true for all the ladies out there. Some of them are. There are a couple of personal questions. So if you feel a little bit, I guess, triggered by that, then I would suggest you sign off because we're also going to be talking about things like periods and that sort of thing too. But I would suggest you stick around because you might learn more than you knew beforehand. I'm really excited for this video. As you can see, a lot of these questions, and pretty much all of them, were taken from the internet. So this is just general questions that I found that guys have for girls. I picked a couple, I chose a couple. I didn't put all of them on there because some of them weren't appropriate. But I tried to do a pretty holistic version of what I saw on a lot of websites. So let's get into it. What are some questions that guys are too afraid to ask girls? And once again, this is purely my opinion. So it's not completely reliable, but I'm going to try to make it as, holistic as possible to try to express the female opinion. Okay, starting off, after thousands of years, why haven't you realized that we don't pick up on subtle hints? Oh, this is a good question. I don't know. I guess a lot of girls are sort of holding out on the fact that guys maybe one day might pick up on hints because it's our way that we express ourselves. Honestly, if a girl is giving you lots of subtle hints, that probably means she's just like nervous to talk to you um, up front. And as a guy, I would say you should probably start being more aware. Um, but we know that, from experience, I know that a lot of guys just don't pick up on hints of any sort, whether that be romantically or just like in general trying to communicate something. Women are very socially aware, so I guess we're oriented to expect that thing for guys, but you guys don't do it. And so it can get kind of frustrating sometimes. So the short answer is yes, we realized, but we're kind of still hoping that you do. So work on social awareness and communication. Okay. Are you seriously expecting an honest reply to does this make me look fat? Oof, this is one that I saw quite a bit. I don't think I've ever asked anyone, like, does this make me look fat? Typically, it's when a girl is feeling insecure about herself and she's asking for your opinion. Don't just, say what she wants to hear. I would say be honest, but also kind of give room for a little bit of leeway. It's like, does this make me look fat? You should ask her how she feels about it and kind of have a conversation about that because that's really where the conversation is stemming from how she feels about herself. So I would say honestly, you don't have to give an answer, but just ask her about, why she's asking you in the first place and that kind of thing. And you can always say like, "Yes, baby, you look gorgeous" or whatever. But you know, a lot of times it's just like we're stressed out about how we look in an outfit and we're kind of looking for reassurance or some sort of support or guidance. Okay. This one is I thought was a little bit funny. Were you all born with perfect penmanship? Obvious answer, no. Like you, we had to learn how to read and write. I know for me personally, I would say I have pretty, relatively decent handwriting. And it was just a goal that I had for myself. I said, I want to have good handwriting. So I just worked at it. And I know plenty of guys that have good handwriting as well. It's just a personal motivation thing. And personally, I think that good penmanship can be pretty attractive too. Okay. What do you store in your handbags? Seriously, there seems to be an item for every occasion. I don't have any handbags like this, but my mom does. So, what do we store? Everything that you could possibly need. Makeup, medicine, um, you know, hairbrushes, Q-tips, cards, cash, phones, chargers, pretty much everything that you can fit in there. Because you want to be prepared for every situation. Car keys, you just don't want to leave your house and then remember that you forgot something and go back. So you just put everything in there. It is kind of like a bottomless pit. Sometimes I wonder how my mom has so much in her purse, but it just kind of happens that way, I guess. Ooh, okay. This is one that a lot of guys ask. Why do you go to the bathroom in groups? I didn't think that this was that big of a deal. Like, I really did not think it was, but I kept looking and I was like, every single website, they're like, "Oh, why do girls go to bathroom in groups?" I'm like, it's really not a big deal. It's not like we're having some sort of a conspiracy or something. I would say generally it's for a sense of security, especially like say you're in the mall or something and you do the buddy system and that sort of thing. It's just for security. It's refreshing to have someone wait for you outside of the bathroom. And another thing is just a chit chat. When we're in the bathroom, typically we're just chatting about stuff. It's nice. The bathroom is a safe spot for a lot of girls, which is also why, I don't want to get political, but that's why we get a lot of controversy with like, transgender people entering women's spaces and all that stuff. It's just like, how is it going to affect the sanctity that is the female bathroom? Because it's a very safe space. I don't know if it's like that for guys, but if it is, then hopefully, you understand. But yeah, so it's not too big of a deal, just security and, yeah, chatting about things in a private setting. Okay. I Yeah, I don't really know where this question came from, but do you want us to fight a guy if he's getting up in your face or do we just leave it because you can take care of yourself? Neither. um I would say sure you could acknowledge that I am capable of taking care of myself, but just don't escalate the situation, make things worse. Like you can protect me personally. Some ladies want to be protected, other people don't. Depends on the person. Just try to resolve the conflict peacefully and don't try to aggravate anyone or anything, is my general answer. Ooh, okay. I've spent a long time studying women and how they tick romantically. I think I've learned a lot, but one thing I've never been privy to is what girls talk to each other about when talking to guys. I've been told it gets rather detailed. So, if I understand the question correctly, it's why do girls talk so much to each other about what to talk about when they're with guys? Like, for example, if a girl has a crush on a guy, she's like, "Oh, what should I say to him? What should I do?" Um, I mean, it's because we overthink. As girls, we overthink. I know guys also overthink a lot. You guys just don't express it. But for us, whenever we overthink, we involve our friends, our girlfriends, friends or girls, into the discussion. And we honestly just want a lot of guidance and advice. And so, they'll give you like a step by step process. Like I know with my friends, like we'll give each other like step by step processes on like what to do, what to talk, and that kind of thing. Depends on the situation as well. But it does get very detailed. It's like, oh, how should I walk up to him? Okay, so you should go walk up to him and you should ask him about this and this, and then you should make a move, that kind of thing. Um, because, I mean, honestly, womanhood, we're pretty much a support system, a support group. And especially when it comes to romantic stuff, it's like, okay, we got you, girl. Do not stress out. We really just want to take off the burden. And so we'll try to be as, holistic as possible and give as much advice as possible, really. Okay. Oh, I thought this question was so funny because you can really tell that this person, because like I said, I took this off of a website. This person was like actually like so confused, and I think it's a relatively simple answer. I think. Okay, when you look at me a bunch of times, but never when I look back, what does that mean exactly? Am I a freaky, fascinating subject to talk about with your girlfriends later, or is my shirt on backward or something? Or are you just checking me out? And if so, why do you look away like you're totally not interested when I look your way? Um, Once again, depends on the girl. But overall, I would say it means this girl is checking you out. She probably has a crush on you. She's just too nervous to actually make eye contact with you or initiate a conversation with you. So she looks at you and then she looks away. And if she catches you looking at her through the corner of her eye, she'll get like flustered and that kind of thing. I know from personal experience, I unfortunately I've done that a couple times myself. Um, and what does that do exactly? Well, it's kind of an inbuilt response, I guess. Like looking at someone, you're trying to learn as much about them as possible without actually learning that much about them, without actually going up to them and talking to them. Um, and yeah, like I said, that's just because like when people get like butterflies in their stomach and they get flustered, especially when they have a crush, because I know I've done that before when I'm like looking at someone, but then as soon as they turn around to look back at me, like, oh, never mind. Um, but it's not because we think you're ugly or there's something wrong with you. In fact, it's more about us than it is about you, unfortunately. But yeah, that's typically a sign that a girl likes you if she's kind of doing that. But Don't mistake that for like a creepy stalker vibe. I don't know. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. This is the age old question for yeah. Okay. Are periods really that bad, and what do they even feel like? Okay. So periods feel differently, or the scale of pain for period, honestly, it just depends on the girl. For different people, they have a heavier flow. For different people, they have a lighter flow. Some people have more cramps, less cramps, that kind of thing. But are they really that bad in general, as much as we make them out to be? Yes, 100% yes. Pretty much any girl can tell you that. Periods suck. At least for me, they suck. They ruin my week. Oh, they're so bad. What makes them so bad? What do they even feel like? I don't want to get too descriptive because I don't want to seem like gory or anything. Um, but the pain that comes from a period isn't actually from the bleeding itself. In fact, that part doesn't hurt. In terms of that part, though, it's like it feels like your underwear is wet, and like clumpy. Sorry, I know that's weird. But in terms of the actual pain that comes with the period, we always say, we get cramps. Um, how do I describe cramps? I was looking through the websites and some ladies gave answers, and one of them was like, it's like a pumpkin carving tool that's scratching out your insides. And honestly, I think that's pretty accurate. It's like your lower abdomen. It feels like someone's like constantly like punching you, and like, or like someone not stabbed you, but they like took like a mallet or something, and they just like kept shoving it in you. Sorry, I know that's really brutal. And it's like, oh, you can't take it out, so it's just stuck there, and you're like, ugh, ugh. Okay, I'm being way too descriptive with this, but it hurts so bad. Personally, for me, when it comes to being on my period, I become a sickly patient. It's horrible. I throw up a lot. Cramps are really bad. Bleeding's really bad. And because of that, we get like angry and upset. And I mean, I think honestly you would too, because they just hurt so bad. I'm sorry. You get your body aches everywhere. Typically, we also get acne that comes along with it. Um, but yeah, like I said, for different girls, it works differently, and also it depends on how often you get it. Because if you get it um, on a regular basis, like every 28 days, then it's probably good. But especially for girls that get their period later, it'll hurt. Usually hurts more when you get it. Um, and I guess another thing to say with that is just don't be, a jerk when we're on our period, because you really don't understand the pain. Um, yeah, it honestly, I would say just ask the girl if you know that they might be on their period, just ask them how they feel and that kind of thing. And that's where the next question is leading into. As a guy, what should I do for a girl to make her feel comfortable when she's on her period? Be understanding. Don't treat it like it's some taboo thing. Because I've had people in my life where I've told them, "Hey, I'm on my period," and they treat me like I'm some gross, untouchable fiend. Don't do that. I guess, make sure she knows it's a safe spot. For example, like, if she bleeds on the bed or something like that, like make sure she knows, like, hey, it's no problem. It's okay. Um, be understanding, have trash cans, trash bags ready, because those things fill up quick. Pads and tampons and that kind of thing, replenish them, stock them up. And yeah, just be very kind and understanding in general, because it is not fun for us. Like, believe me, as a girl, if I didn't have to have periods, then I would be very happy. With that being said, though, it is necessary to be a good, functioning, healthy human being. So I'm not super duper mad, but when I'm on it, it's just the biggest burden, I think, out of anything else. Okay. Anyways, besides that whole thing, why do guys have to pretend? Oh, yeah, actually, basically, on the period topic, we're also more vulnerable in general. So we're probably more likely to be honest or agitated, irritable. I know, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. Um, that's okay. I'll come back to it. Why do guys have to pretend not to be interested in you for you to like them? In my experience, the less interest you show to a girl, the more she wants you. It doesn't make sense to me. I like you, okay. Why do I have to pretend that I don't? Um, I mean, personally, I disagree with this. If a guy is interested in me, I would want him to tell me up front. Don't play any mind games with you. Don't play any mind games with me. In terms of the girls that do want guys to show less interest in them, I guess it's sort of like if a girl has a crush on someone, but she's really scared they don't like them, like her back. She's gonna try to like find ways for him to like. She's gonna try to find ways for him to show like he's not interested, and so she can kind of get over it in a way. Yeah, personally, I think if a guy is interested in me, I would want him to directly tell me that he likes me. Don't pretend that you don't, because girls pretend that they don't like you because they think that guys don't want you to be upfront. Guys don't want them to be upfront. And because of that, neither party ends up actually making a move. I will say though, like personally speaking, if someone told me that they liked me, I would want for them to do it in person and not over text, because text signifies that there's like a lack of commitment there. Um, and yeah, I mean, that goes for anyone. Like, if anyone were to like me, even if I didn't like them back, I'm still interested in getting to know more about them as a person, and I I would be fine with it. Really, I would be as understanding as possible, and I think most girls would as well. Ooh, this is a pretty general question. What do girls first notice in a guy? Depends. All of these are depends answers. Um. Sorry. I remembered what I was going to say about periods. When we're on our period, um, we're more likely to get sick, because I know that I've gotten fevers and whatnot on my period. It's like carrying like a 50-pound weight, sort of, attached at your stomach while you're trying to go through, the regular day, and everyone expects it to be normal. That's what it feels like. Okay, anyways, what do girls first notice in a guy? Um, I think the way that one person put it when I was watching a video is pretty good. Whatever their most positive quality is or attractive quality is. For some girls, they might notice a guy's smile first. Depends on the guy too. What's most attractive about them first. Personally, in terms of physical appearance, I would say how put together they are. Do they take care of themselves? Um, do they wear good clothing? I go to a school that, in which we wear uniforms. So do they iron their shirts, that kind of thing? Do they take care of themselves? Do they have good hygiene? In terms of the person themselves, their eyes, their smile, their hair, that kind of thing. Um, so yeah. And in terms of actually being attracted to a guy, personality, being mature and considerate and that sort of thing as well. Ooh, okay. Ooh, oh no. What are some major turn offs and turn ons for girls? Honestly, I don't think they're that much different than turn offs and turn ons for guys. And when I say turn ons and turn offs, I mean things that make someone seem attractive and things that make them seem not attractive and make you want to run away from them. Okay, turn offs include being incredibly arrogant. I know a big one that a lot of girls have is like when guys try to mansplain things. There's a difference between being confident and self assured and trying to extend your superiority and dominance and authority over other people. Um, Other turnoffs, bad hygiene. Yeah, showing you don't take care of yourself, being dismissive and rude. Um, Only caring about yourself. All of the things are like narcissists and self-centered sort of things are bad. Turn-ons for girls: being kind, empathetic, considerate, being willing to communicate, being direct and straightforward. Being direct and straightforward is actually a pretty huge turn on. If a girl likes you, she's probably, and she doesn't tell you, she wants you to make the first move. You know, and I'm sorry, and I know guys want the girls to make the first move too. It's just you can never win. Um, but yeah, so turn-ons for girls. Other ones, just general charisma. I think holding the door open for people, being wise, prudent, um, being confident in yourself is a good turn on. Knowing who you are, where your passions lie, that kind of thing, and just being experienced with yourself. Okay. I didn't really understand this question. Why do girls complain about food but enjoy it so much? I didn't know girls complained about food. Or like, oh, like this is so much food, it's gonna make me look fat or something. I guess a lot of that stems from societal norms and societal pressure. Because I wouldn't say, like personally, I don't really complain about food that much. But why do they enjoy it so much? Food is just incredibly comforting, and for a lot of girls, food can be a sort of their love language. I know for me, if you give me food, it's pretty epic. I would very much enjoy that. Food is the way to the heart, and food is the way into the soul. Um, but yeah, I'm not really sure about why they complain about it as much. I think it's just, yeah, a lot of maybe some insecurity. It probably stems from insecurity. They're concerned about their figure, how they look, and that sort of thing. Okay, I believe this is the last question we have for today. No, wait, it's not. Okay. Why do girls spend so much time getting ready? Because we want to look good for you. It's a pretty straightforward answer. Why do guys, spend time like combing their hair and wearing cologne and tuxes for a dance? Because they want to, look good. And also for girls, getting ready can just be really satisfying, makes us feel good about ourselves as well. And yeah, we do want you to compliment us if we look good. And girls, same thing goes for guys. Like, compliment a guy. Come on, get him little gifts. Like, be proactive because guys getting compliments is underrated and you got to do it because they don't get compliments that often. But yeah, if a girl looks good, compliment her about it. Come on, like, but yeah, it's just because we want to look good for you or for the occasion, the event, appropriately. Okay. What are some signs that a girl likes you? Oh, I love this question. There's not a one size fits all answer to that question. I can only provide you with some basic guidelines. And I would say that the signs that a guy exhibits to showcase that he likes a girl and the signs that a girl exhibits to show that she likes a guy are pretty similar. They're pretty much the same, honestly. Um, so I'm going to do a couple generic ones and then I'm going to do a couple ones for me that I do whenever I like someone. So that's going to be exposing myself a little bit. Um, when a girl likes you, if she ever plays with her hair when she talks to you, that would be one thing. Ever looks you up and down, those are more obvious signs. The one that we encountered before was if she takes a look at you and then looks away quickly, takes a look back, looks at you. If she's constantly staring at you, she likes you, most likely. Because in school, I knew a girl. She used to follow. She literally used to follow this guy around that she had a crush on, and she never talked to him. She just followed him around. That kind of thing can certainly be creepy depending on the situation, but it can also mean the girl likes you. Um, Whenever they laugh, they look at you. They're kind of waiting to see your response, and they want you to respond back in a positive way. Um, they're oriented towards you. They always try to get closer to you in group settings, that kind of thing as well. Um, they always listen to you. Those are some general signs. Like she tilts her head a little bit and she's like nodding and smiling whenever you're talking with her. That would also be a sign that she likes you. Um, and now I'm going to do a couple ones that I exhibit whenever I like someone. Um, oof, where to begin? Yeah, I definitely do the looking thing where I'm like, for example, like if I'm in a classroom, I'll look at someone and then I'll look away, and if they look at me back, then I'm just gonna feel like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? What's happening? Do they like me back? Da 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 da. What else do I do? I I do try to play it cool. If I'm interested in someone, not the way I'm talking about this is like I've liked like tons and tons of people before. There's only one person, but yeah, I kind of try to like play it cool and try to make it seem like I'm not too interested, but also that I'm open. Like if they ever want to talk about it, um, I'm always going to be there for them, that kind of thing. Um, I always make eye contact, steal some glances as well. If I know for me, one thing that I do is I give the hot and cold kind of treatment, and I hate myself for doing this. But like for example, like if I like someone, I'll text them. Okay. But then the next day I won't say anything to them because for some reason I'm like nervous or flustered. If if you see that I am not the most comfortable talking to you, but it's like not from it's more from an awkward perspective than it is from a completely uncomfortable perspective, if that makes sense, then I guess that means that I like you. I don't really know where I was going with that. Um what else? Talking to my friends, girls talking to their friends about liking a guy. If a girl's friends ever tease her about liking a guy and he sees that, that means, she's talked about you to them before. I know for me, whenever I like someone, I'll tell my friends. It's kind of nice to have a support group and a support system in that sense. Um, Girls do dream and they overthink and they'll come up with situations in their heads. Um, but yeah, like a lot of times girls are nervous and they want guys to make the first move. So if you are a guy that's crushing on a girl, chances are she's not going to be super rude and dismissive, even if she doesn't feel the same way about you. So just tell her that you like her. And girls, same thing goes for you. Just tell the guy that you like him. I swear, people got to complicate things so much. Okay, next question. Ooh, what is the best pickup line? Um, I don't think there is a best one for me. I mean, I've never had a pickup line used on me before, but from what I would say, delivery matters more than the actual content itself. So it depends on how you say the pickup line. Some of them can be cringy, but if you're confident when you're saying it and you actually show genuine interest in the person, then I think that's all that matters. Charisma. Oh, do you always expect guys to pay for dinner? Just depends on the girl. If you're in a relationship, I would say communication, be upfront about it. A lot of people say for the first date the guy should pay for dinner. Personally, I believe that whoever asked should pay. And if you guys agree to split it, then that's also fine. For example, if a girl asked to take a guy out on a date, then the girl should probably pay for the date. Um, but just, yeah, be upfront about it. It doesn't have to be awkward unless you make it awkward. Okay. I think that this is the last question. Yes. Okay. What's the hardest part about being a girl? Hmm. I mean, I think it's honestly just like feeling misunderstood and feeling like we don't fit in because I felt that a lot. The hardest part about being a girl is it just feels like other people just don't understand. You're constantly underestimated, unfortunately, um, and people tend to look at you differently as a girl than if you're a guy. The stereotypical like whenever you think of a human, the first thing you think of is a guy, don't you? Isn't that weird? Um, but yeah, just because of your gender, people tend to underestimate your capabilities. They tend to assume that you won't understand certain things. Like people are like, "Oh, guy humor, girl humor." I honestly don't think those two things are mutually exclusive because I'm more of a proponent that you know it's built by society, societal pressure. Girls are expected to conform to certain things early on. Um, obviously periods and that kind of thing, menstrual cycle, it sucks. It sucks a lot, but at the same time, it's necessary for us to be healthy. Um, and yeah, in general, there's just a lot that goes into being a girl. Another hard part about being a girl is, going outside. We're never safe. We can never be safe. We always have to be on the lookout um, because girls are taken advantage of. And guys are too, and that's something we also need to normalize. But girls are taken advantage of a lot, and it's incredibly unfair that we have to gear ourselves to constantly be. We can never, let our guard down in society, and that's always a really difficult thing. This was a much longer video than I anticipated, but thanks for being on this journey with me. I hope you learned a little bit more. If you're a girl and you disagree with me, that's perfectly fine. I was checking my YouTube channel demographics, and I think it's pretty much an even 50-50 split between guys and girls. So, yeah, hopefully you learned a little bit through this video. I love you guys. Stay safe, and I will see y'all later. Bye.